Welcome to Sports Minds, y'all, where all roads lead to sports. We talk about ball every season for every reason. We are your hosts, Hashmaster Z.
Legendarius.
Hey, this is Philthy. What's good, y'all? And we're gonna get right into it, starting with some recent action outside of the NFL for once. NBA's been roaring all season. They just had their All-Star weekend, and some action just went down, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Woo!
All right, let's talk about it. We're going to get 15 minutes on the shot clock, and we're going to talk All-Star game.
Everything, All-Star game, All-Star weekend, 15 minutes. We can get after it. We got a whole quarter of basketball.
All right. Let me get started. All-Star weekend has gone down the drain. Trash. Like it's really trash at this point. It's, trash. Friday night you get started with the Rising Stars competition. Like I honestly feel like the celebrity game was more entertaining than the Rising Stars competition. They split like the rookies and sophomores up into 4 teams, and it was pretty obvious before like the game even started. It's like, oh, this team is loaded, they're gonna win, and that's exactly what happened. It was just like there was no competition. Like I believe it was Team Gasol. They had like Jose Alvarado. Like they had vets. It was like, yeah, this team's gonna win, so it doesn't matter like what the other teams are. And at least in that game, they played like a little bit of defense, because once you got to the actual All-Star game on Sunday, like I've never seen a worse All-Star game in my life. Like absolutely zero defense being played. It's just like, oh, you go into the basket, go ahead, lay up, bro. Hey, go ahead and dunk, bro. Hey, keep grinding. Let me see those dribble moves. You want to shoot this open 3? Shoot from half court, bro. Shoot from half court. Like the amount of half court shots that were taken was like ridiculous. Actually, like Shaq and the Fool, they just like did a compilation and they kept speeding it up. And eventually they had Dame Lillard on the moon shooting.
That's hilarious.
Shooting down at Earth, because it's just like it was ridiculous the shots that were being taken, and it's just like, all right, we get it. You guys don't take it serious. Like they need to add some incentive, which I think the incentive should be the winner of the All-Star game. First of all, they have to change it back to East versus West. The winner has home court advantage for the NBA Finals.
Oof. That's a little steep. But no, I think they should figure it out, and I totally agree with you. Just like the NFL's little Pro Bowl weekend, like they got to retool it. Same thing for NBA, they have to retool it. I will offer some pushback on the Rising Stars. I'm a little biased. I've always been a fan of the Rising Stars back before the format even got flipped. I just like seeing the young guys get after it. Though you're right, once they do this whole draft process, you can see what teams are probably going to win, but it's just really fun to see the young talent go after it. And I've always been attracted to Rising Stars for years, and it was cool to see. I mean, and you're right, once you get into it, you see Jose Alvarado was pretty much running the show, but I just think those dynamics are fun to see. And I've lost interest in the All-Star game overall for years for that very reason: the lack of defense, lack of effort. When it was East versus West, I was definitely more into it. The more classical matchups that we all, favor, I like those. But this whole like team LeBron, team whatever, I haven't really been into it. The first time they implemented the whole like Kobe 24 rules in the fourth, that was pretty dope. After that, it's just more and more lackluster. Just not my thing. It's okay. It's all right. Dunk contest mid. 3-point was tight.
Yeah, that's the thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the skills competition, I think it's you know what? I'm probably jumping ahead here, but let's just say the 3-point competition was the highlight for me watching the All-Star game this weekend. The dunk contest. Shout out to oh my god,
Mac McClung,
the Great White Hope.
Some respect on his name. Let's go.
My bad, Matt McClung. I was about to call him Terry for some odd reason, but offended. I know that's not that man's name. But either way, it's like the 3-point contest, gained a lot of popularity in the 20. Well, I mean, it's always been It's always been popular. Let me just get that out there. But when Steph Curry, was in the competition with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, all that stuff, I think that was the most lit the 3-point contest has ever been. That's just me personally. And then the dunk contest, as we all know, just weaned away as the 2010s started, going, and stars just don't do it anymore. Just flat out don't.
I kind of blame LeBron for that. Not to cut you off, I blame LeBron for ruining the dunk contest.
Come on, man. We gonna blame LeBron for everything? Is one person. He's the only superstar.
No, but I was saying you can track that. You can track that though. There was a time where they kept going after him. Hey, do the dunk contest. Hey, do the dunk contest. And he just kept saying no every year. And someone with LeBron's star power saying no to that every year, it's gonna kind of stack up eventually. That's like big names ditching the Pro Bowl. Eventually, I mean, why am I going to show up to the Pro Bowl either? Forget it.
I mean, how many times did Kobe do it? How many times did Vince Carter do it? Like, they did it once. I don't really see. D Wade never did the dunk contest. Like, there's plenty of people from LeBron's time on that could have did the dunk contest that didn't. And it's just like, I'm LeBron. I don't have to. But like, a notch below LeBron, like, oh, y'all might as well get in the dunk contest. It's not like you're going to win an MVP.
But how many people with LeBron's type of star power, and he goes and does a dunk contest maybe one time, and then all of a sudden the young guys coming in like, oh, I want to do it now. Why not? Like, that's the power of motivation. I guess that's what they talk about in other topics involving LeBron. But that's what I was trying to bring. If someone of LeBron's caliber is like, oh, let me do this dunk contest a couple times, you're going to generate that other people to like get in there and try it out. Why not? If LeBron's doing it, the top of the mountain, hell, let me get off my high horse and try it out one time. Why not?
Nah, I'm going to put it more on the media. The media shifted everything to all they care about is rings. So why am I going to get in a dunk contest? Because if I lose, y'all go and try to trash me. So
that's true.
I'm not even going to put myself in that situation. Because
I agree with Legendarius. It's like we the media, everybody else have become so ring centric that it's like no matter what you do, well, you didn't win. Like, so who cares if you did that? Oh
no, yeah, that's very true.
What you should have been working on this, and you would have got a ring. But like, I'm not gonna blame LeBron because it's like my thing is like, okay, so what? Best player on the planet at this time, and he says no to the dunk contest. It's not like someone's like, well, if he's not going to go, I'm not going to go. Like, human beings, athletes, they're competitive by nature. So I feel if you're that, if you want to do that and show out, you will do it. Like, Blake Griffin. We had Damian Lillard do the dunk contest at least once.
Levine, Aaron Gordon, Nate Robinson, Dwight Howard.
Right, exactly. And if you ask me, I think it's just more of like, I think we were robbed from Russell Westbrook doing it. So, if there's anybody I wanted to see do it, but it's just like, but it's just like I can't just say like, oh, this is a triple effect, blah blah blah, because players have minds of their own. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And then even with the team LeBron, team Giannis, the one aspect I do like about it, and this is 2 years in a row now, and let's just open up third eye real quick. Like, what are they saying? Jokic was the last pick of the draft. 2 years in a row. The 2-time MVP is like, all right, like, you're the last out of the starters that like both LeBron and Giannis, and last year was KD. They're like, yeah, like he fills up the stat sheet, but he's not really that dude.
Well, let's be honest.
Can we talk about this?
They've been openly slandering Jokic for some years now, and it's just gone down to the players, and the players believe it too. I mean, it's disrespectful, totally, but it is what it is. It's the reverse problem that was around in the past.
I don't feel like it's disrespect at all. I feel like Jokic is like he's the analytic MVP, but he's not the best. Like, if you're starting a franchise, you're not going to be like, I need Jokic before I need Luka or Giannis or Ja or LeBron. Like, literally go down that list. Like, Jokic is not like who you need. Like, cool, you fill up stats, you're very efficient, and then you get to the playoffs, you get knocked out in the first round, you get locked up by Draymond Green, or you get knocked out in the second round. To you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't. He's just a regular season star. And what's interesting is when Westbrook was filling up the stat sheet, and he was just a regular season star, and he needed to prove it in the playoffs. But Jokic, they're talking about he's going to be the MVP for the third straight year, and I'm just like, bro, stop it. Yeah. He just fills up the stat sheet. He looks cool. It works for people that like numbers and like efficiency, but like, in terms of like literally like most valuable, I'm not seeing it. Like, he's not doing it. He's not like, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player, but he's not the guy where it's just like, yo, we need a bucket. Jokic, get us this bucket, and we need a stop. Jokic, get it. Like, he ain't that guy. He can't carry the team.
He's not gonna like. So when I think of like a NBA Finals MVP or like an all-time great, Jokic, like we said, fundamentally sound, highly skilled, unicorn. I get it, but athletically, I don't think he's somebody that was like, yo, give me the ball and I'll take us home.
Yeah. Like, well, it's not even that. It's like, you think about regular season, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, how the regular season is. Regular season, they don't like to play any defense, but like in the playoffs, defensive intensity increases. And in the playoffs, this dude's numbers plummet, because now these guys that troll throughout the regular season are like, all right, let me lock this dude up the whole game. Like, for real.
You think the problem is Jokic is too much of like a ball distributor? He wants to involve the team too much. I mean, his assists are high, consistently for his position. Do you think maybe that's his problem? He tries to get everyone involved.
I wouldn't say that, because when you're, let's just say this, if you're dishing out 10 to 15 assists a game, which is like what I always see on his stat sheet or look up on the ticker, you're contributing to points, because he's gonna put up at least 27 to 35, with that. I think the main thing with him is, from what I see, it's just he doesn't have the athleticism when it comes to crunch time to create space for himself, consistently. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't know what you mean. He can create like for himself, but I'm just saying, like, he's just not like he's not a killer in terms of like, that was gonna be my like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, look at last year. It didn't matter what you're doing, what coverages you send at Luka. He on your ass. He's putting the ball in the hole. Like, with Jokic, they could like get him to be like, give the ball up. With Luka, you can't get him to give the ball up. With Jason Tatum, to an extent, you can't get him to give the ball up. And he's like, I will make this in your eye hole. With Jokic, if they put enough pressure on him, he's gonna pass the ball. Which he may make the right pass, which is fine, but it's at the end of the day, if I could stop you from shooting and you're supposed to be the guy, then like, I did my job.
Got it. Okay. I can definitely see that, especially in the playoffs. They will push him, and his response a lot of the times is just to push out and get out the paint.
Yeah. And we can't wrap up the All-Star without talking about our man Quagmire. I mean, Karl Malone, who they decided they decided to highlight this guy all weekend, and his pass came up again. How he was pulling that Quagmire. He's like, hey, you 16 yet? 18? 13? Doesn't matter. So I just thought that was a little suspect. It's like, all right, we're gonna, with cancel culture and all that, like, we're really gonna highlight this guy. considering
It's a
everything that
perfect
he's done.
example, once again, of society moving the goalpost. Perfect example. We want to put all this heat on insert name here. You want to put it on a Kanye. You want to put it on someone who
Kyrie.
says, you want to say, yeah, you want to put it on someone who does antics or says something. We don't appreciate it. Let's put it on a TO. Let's put all this weight on all these people. We don't like them. But when it's someone that we do like, we do find endearing. Oh, he's a hero. Oh, we love it. Oh, we support it. It's great. In this case, it's Karl Malone, who does nothing in Utah. But yeah, Utah, let's put Utah on the map. And here's Karl Malone. Oh, why not? We will totally accept it because you work well with John Stockton. Thanks for all your stats and putting up with Jordan. So we're going to elevate you. Thank you. Even though there's nothing going on in Utah but Mormonism, but let's go ahead and love Karl Malone.
That's facts, man. All facts. And it's so fitting that it was in Utah. And they're like, it's fine. You remember what he did? You remember that run, baby?
It's nuts. Like, look how they dragged Kobe for like a rape allegation, but like they got Karl Malone dead to rights, and it's anyways, we're gonna honor you 20 years later.
It's just the fact play in LA. It's Utah, you know. It's like, what the hell, man? Like I wasn't a fan of that choice either, you know. And it's like, you know, people are gonna have their two camps where it's like, like hold them accountable. NBA needs to be held accountable, because if we're gonna drag Kyrie or Kanye West or anybody for like any type of antics, but then we literally have this man dead to rights and no one says a word, I think that's a problem. So.
Yeah.
Just no consistency overall across all levels in this current society. Just overall, just no consistency at all.
Yeah. But y'all couldn't hear the buzzer went off, so we gonna get 15 on the clock again, and we gonna keep it on the theme of the NBA, and we gonna talk about this trade deadline recap. And
yes, it was mad active.
It was crazy. Probably like one of the most active, I want to say, in a decade or so. Highlighted by the Nets getting blown up. So after, shitting on Kyrie this entire season, they're like, you know what, Kyrie, we're done with you. They trade Kyrie to the Mavs. And then if that wasn't enough, I'm on the East Coast now. So it's like 1 a.m. My phone started going crazy. Notification. Kevin Durant traded to the Phoenix Suns.
Yo, that was insane.
Don't forget about TJ Warren. Put some respect on that.
My bad. And TJ Warren. But I feel like we're gonna talk about the Suns first. I feel like that move, Kevin Durant to the Suns, made them instant title favorites, and it's really not even close. What do you guys think about that?
No, I totally agree. Look at the starting lineup for the Suns. What do you do? It's almost a version of when Durant was on the Warriors. What are you going to do? It's the same idea, So we'll see how effective they are when it comes down to bench play, depth, rotation, all the small detail X's and O's. But on paper, it's like, holy shit, dude. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. And you're saying it's not? Explain yourself, Hashmaster.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm not going to say it's not the same as the Warriors. No.
It's pretty close.
I said pretty close.
Is he surrounded by hoopers? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Like D-Book, he's gonna go ahead, like hopping out the gym, averaging 25. Chris Paul, if his hamstring holds up, he's gonna give you a good like 10 to 15 dimes now, with like another 16, 20 points. D. Ayton playing with confidence. We all know what will happen with that. Like, he's just going to, like, I think him playing with
creating faulty premises.
He's just going to be, I think he's going to be a solid fourth option. And then Kevin Durant, the man, he's probably one of the most ultimate plug and play players of all time. But I feel,
which supports my point.
I think this is more of like, I just don't think it's like as stacked as, I wouldn't call it like a cheap move like I did with Golden State. That's all I'm saying. It's like Golden State's A+, Suns, this is like a B+, because we don't.
No. Like, if you watch basketball, you really watch, Chris Paul now, like the game is broken. So Chris Paul's old, whatever. Chris Paul has his two moves, which is pick and roll. He always makes the correct pass. Number one.
Yeah.
So if you leave any airspace in a pick and roll, like it's an easy bucket. But now you're running pick and rolls with Kevin Durant. And typically you'd be like, all right, let's double team. He's running the pick and roll with Booker with Ayton. And they're like, all right, let's make sure that we stay home on Booker. Now you can't do that, or stay home on Booker and let's double off of like a Miles Bridges. And that's why Miles Bridges used to get all open threes. Now you're running that same pick and roll. You can't help. You have Devin Booker on one side and you have Kevin Durant on the other side. You cannot help. So Chris Paul can cook you in the pick and roll. It's either going to be he's getting his mid-range or Ayton's getting the dunks at the basket. And then if you do help, Booker or Kevin Durant's getting a wide open shot. Not to mention, Kevin Durant also can run the pick and roll effectively. So now it's the same issue, but with Kevin Durant. And let's not forget, Kevin Durant can get his own shot. Booker can get his own shot. Booker can run the pick and roll effectively too. Like it's bullshit. I'm sorry. It was a cheap move. Yeah, that's what I was
saying. It
was a cheap move, bro.
Yeah, that's why I was saying they mirror that old Warriors team in that way. Just like, what the hell are you gonna do? Yes, I get it. It's old. And that's why I was saying Hashmaster was creating a faulty premise saying, oh, if the hamstring holds up, oh, if he plays with confidence. That's every NBA player ever. If I don't go bad in this game, I'm really good.
Exactly. And I feel like there's only two teams, and y'all maybe call me a, whatever. I think there's only two teams that can contend with them, and they're both in LA, the Clippers and the Lakers. So after these moves that were made by these two teams, man,
such a whatever.
Hey, let me talk about my Lakers real quick, okay? We got Westbrook. We got Westbrook the fuck out of there. First of all, goodbye.
Yeah, I am a Westbrook fan, and I am a Lakers fan. I wanted this move to happen years ago, but yeah, that was definitely a dead weight, and that was hurting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, he was sinking the ship. But all right. My thing is, okay, I just want to hear your reasoning with like the Los Angeles Lakers and the Clippers competing with the Suns. Because I was gonna think you were gonna say something like, I don't think Boston, but
I'm only talking about the West right now because Boston has to get to the finals. Okay. Or same thing with Milwaukee. If not, it doesn't matter. So I'm talking about the West.
Let's hear this LA argument. I'm curious.
Yeah, I want to hear
that. All right. So first of all, we got Westbrook the fuck out of there. We loaded up with shooters. D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley. We got Jared Vanderbilt, who's probably one of the best defenders in the league, and he's very versatile. And we got Mo Bamba. We got LeBron. We got AD, who's healthy right now. We got Hillbilly Kobe. We got Lonnie Walker. Basically, what I'm saying is we have the shooting now. We have literally like what LeBron needs, which is like, I need shooters. And we have length. Like LeBron 6'9", Vanderbilt 6'9", AD 7 feet. And then we got Beasley, who's a knockdown shooter. D'Lo, who's, he shoots mid 30s%, and he can create his own shot. Like that starting five is legit, offensively and defensively. You saw, we held the Warriors to. Yep. There's no Steph Curry. I don't care. You know how the Warriors offense is. We held them to like just around 100 points, and we didn't even play in the fourth quarter. And we beat the Warriors twice in like the last 2 weeks. So what I'm seeing with this Lakers team is like now when LeBron goes off the court, like we don't just go right into the toilet like we would with Westbrook.
Exactly.
Like, we still got options. Like now we got Austin Reeves coming off the bench. He's a solid bench player. We got Schroeder coming off the bench. That's a solid backup point guard. And these other players are interchangeable. And I feel like adding Vanderbilt and Mo Bamba is a I got
hyped when I saw that.
That's the best pick. That's the best move, bro. Like Mo Bamba, who can shoot the three, who's still 7 feet. So it's like, all right, we get rid of AD. We don't have to change how we play. We can literally play the exact same way because AD plays inside and outside. Mo Bamba can do the same thing. We're always gonna have length. We're always gonna have size on the floor, and like we don't really like. Obviously, you don't want anyone to get in the foul trouble, but like we don't really got to worry about it. It's not like AD's in foul trouble. Now we got to go with Thomas Bryant. No,
Right.
Thomas Bryant, but he wasn't on that level where it's like, all right, Mo Bamba, like when he's shooting the three, I believe he's gonna make it.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Okay, that's very convincing.
I like that. I just needed to hear it because.
So what's your wait? So what's the matchup? What's your matchup? Let's go Lakers Suns. What's your matchup like right there? Starting game, like how you matching that up?
All right, Lakers Suns matchup: D'Lo, Chris Paul. I feel like that's a wash because D'Lo is faster than Chris Paul. Chris Paul can't play defense at this age, so I feel like that's a wash. Beasley. I feel like Beasley's gonna guard Booker just so LeBron can like hide. LeBron's not gonna guard KD until the fourth quarter, so it'll be Vanderbilt on KD. You got AD on DeAndre Ayton, and then you got LeBron on like, whoever the Suns like input at that small forward position. So some TJ Warren, Terrence Ross, like Landry Shamet, some bum like that. Like that's gonna be the matchup, and with that, I feel like that's pretty evenly matched. Like Anthony Davis over, I'll take Anthony Davis over DeAndre Ayton. I feel like D'Lo and Chris Paul are a wash. I feel like obviously Booker will beat Beasley, and I feel like Vanderbilt will beat LeBron, or not LeBron. Vanderbilt will beat KD, and then LeBron will beat whoever that other guy is. That whoever their TJ Warren, whoever they want to put in. So I feel like it's like LeBron has the edge, AD has the edge, and then KD has the edge, Booker has the edge, and then D'Lo and Chris Paul's a wash. So then it just comes down to coaching and the bench, and I feel like our bench is deeper. You got Mo Bamba coming in. Like once you get DeAndre Ayton in foul trouble, who's their backup center? Jock Landale? Like, Mo Bamba will eat. Yeah, so I feel like that's really what it comes down to is like DeAndre Ayton will get abused by AD, and then on the flip side, you get DeAndre Ayton in foul trouble, then the Suns, like, they don't have the depth.
Yeah, I like that.
Interesting. Okay, interesting. All right, so now pivot to the Clippers and their trades and how that helps them possibly overcome the Suns.
Well, the Clippers, they needed a backup center because they had Zubac. Zubac can't really move defensively. They picked up Plumlee, who's a solid backup center.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that move.
Yeah, that was a good move. And, then they just picked up some scorers. They picked up Bones Highland from the Nuggets. He's just a scorer. A better version of Reggie Jackson. And then picked up Eric Gordon, who's a good two-way defender. And, he's still a laser from three. And then Kawhi's been balling out all season. Paul George has been subpar. I'm not even gonna lie. And then they picked up Westbrook, which you live by Westbrook, you die by Westbrook. But I feel like Westbrook fits with the Clippers better than he did with the Lakers. Because the difference being when LeBron gets the ball, he's looking to like get somebody open. When Kawhi or Paul George get the ball, they're looking to score. So they play different games. Like Kawhi and Paul George are like, all right, I know how to play off ball. I know how to, slash to the basket. Where LeBron's like, he doesn't really play off ball that much. He's like, give me the ball and let me go to work, ISO. So with Westbrook, where Westbrook can distribute, it's like, all right, I just need to get these guys the ball and then they go to work, and I could. They're not going to pass the ball back to me, so I'm not really tripping. I can just crash the boards, get the rebounds. So I feel like it's a better fit in that sense. And at the same time, it's just the Clippers are so deep, they could literally just bench Westbrook if it comes to it. It's like, all right, we're going to put in Bones Highland, or we're going to put in Eric Gordon or Norman Powell. Like they got options, and Kawhi has been balling when he's played this year. I've been very impressed.
Yeah, I feel like Ty Lue is more of a vet-friendly coach versus David Ham and whatever rotating, staff has been in Lakers. So I think it would be more beneficial. But not surprised. He made it clear he wants to stay in LA. So of course he's gonna go to the you're gonna go to the competition and clip it up, and that's exactly his style fits. The Clippers clip, Westbrook clips. You know, they clipping everywhere out there.
Yeah, that's true. And the last move that's notable, Kyrie to the Mavs. I think it'll make for fun basketball, but at the end of the day, I just don't think the Mavs have enough. It's just going to be Kyrie and Luka. Certain games they'll put up points, and you just won't be able to score with them. But as a whole, they don't got the defense, and it's like, all right, if Luka doesn't play defense, Kyrie doesn't play defense, you can literally just hunt them. In playoff series, that's all they do. It's like, all right, pick and roll, switch. All right, now I got, now it's Kevin Durant against Kyrie Irving. Like, I literally
yeah, you summed that up perfectly. That's exactly how I feel. Like, I was impressed. I was surprised to see it, right? At the end of the day, as a Laker fan, like, damn, you're going to a rival. Like, we got to deal with you. Okay. But outside of that, let's really analyze it. As you said, no defense. Defense not really a thing. They're actually giving up their defensive pieces to get Kyrie. So they're going to try and outscore you. And since the trade, we see the stat sheet. They definitely try and outscore you. Some nights it works, some nights it doesn't. And we've seen that, I think, in the same week. They both won and lost with this style and play. And I guess that's just what you deal with. That's just what it is. That's your identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it, man. And I think, in the East there weren't really any notable moves. If you want to count like Jay Crowder to the Bucks, that's just another piece the Bucks have.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the East didn't make a whole lot of moves. And then Kevin Love, he got his buyout. So Kevin Love on the Heat, but I don't think the Heat.
Well, I'll say before even Kevin Love happened, the Hawks got Sadiq Bey. I thought that was a pretty not mind blowing, but just like, oh, okay, that's a pretty big addition and a key loss for the Pistons. I'm sorry. The Pistons and whatever they're trying to do out there.
Well, the Pistons are trying to tank. That's what they're.
Yeah. Because what are we doing with three big ass centers?
Yeah, the Pistons and the Spurs are like, yo, we need these top picks. Reload. So that's what they're trying to do, and that's a solid move for the Hawks. Oh, how did I forget? How did I forget? I forgot about one of the moves. One of the most genius moves. You guys ready?
I can't wait.
The Warriors, they decided to trade their number 2 overall pick, James Wiseman, essentially for Gary Payton II, who was just on their team last season, who they could have re-signed, but they're like, nah. So they just traded away James Wiseman essentially for Gary Payton II again. And then the kicker is Gary Payton II is injured, and they're hoping he'll be back by the playoffs. So, let's just give a round of applause to the Warriors.
Yeah, the math on that.
The math ain't mathing, bro.
Not quite, because I get the whole argument was like he wanted to get paid, especially after his recent work in Golden State, and they said nah. Right. So he went and got paid. So now you're trying to justify the trade by giving up 5 second-round picks to do X, Y, and Z and get him back so you don't have to pay him. Very roundabout way to say you're sorry about the breakup, man. Just say you're sorry.
Yeah, and let's not even act like he got paid crazy. He got a 3-year, $27 million deal.
Yeah, well, that's
not crazy money.
That's a disrespect. I can't believe how GP Senior doesn't talk to his son and be like, dude, we should probably just get back out of Golden State, because look at the contract you got, and they didn't even want to give you that. Come on.
Yeah,
that's paid value right there.
They paid him top tier running back money.
Yeah. So the Warriors are struggling, and that's the end of the clock. But
on that note,
that leads right into our next little segment. We're going to talk about the season rundown, our NBA title contenders, pretenders, that type of thing. But before we do that, y'all got to get your chicken. So All right, sponsored by Burger King, y'all. Not really, but you know.
Yo, the chicken fries are lit. I prefer the spicy ones, but they don't do that year round. Y'all some suckers for that. But chicken fries are lit. I'll say that. Other than that, I don't really go to Burger King. I like the drinks.
We can't talk about sponsors like that. Impossible Whopper.
Yeah, when we get one, I'll big them up properly. But Burger King, man, chicken fries lit.
10 out of 10 would recommend. All right. With this NBA season, before we get into, the contenders, we got to talk about the lack of competitiveness in these games. I feel like there's no defense. Load management is out of control. Kyrie, mid-season, had a quote after they lost to the Thunder where he literally said, these are just warm-up games for the big performance that happens, in mid-April. So the players aren't taking this serious. They're not playing games. How do you guys feel about it? It's hard to watch sometimes.
And this is honestly why my viewing heart isn't in the NBA during the regular season anymore. Because it's like, so we know Anthony Bennett came out and echoed what Kobe said years ago, where it's like these fans, you never know who's coming to your game, right? So it could be that.
Pause. Do not disrespect Anthony Edwards by calling him Anthony Bennett. Now try again.
I did. Oh my God. It was like Anthony Bennett. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Anthony Edwards. Oh my God. Anyway,
I was like, why are you talking about this bust for and comparing him to Kobe? I was like, these guys are not in the same sentence. But yes, Anthony Edwards. Go ahead.
Anthony Edwards. Sorry. My bad. You know what happens sometimes, Skip. Anyway. So Anthony Edwards, echoed what Kobe Bryant said years ago about, you never know who's coming to your game. Like that could be like a hardworking, fan that could only afford this game for this time of the year. They come up to the stadium and the superstar is sitting on the bench with no injury. Like that makes absolutely zero sense to me. So it's like either the NBA has to shorten. Well, actually, I don't want them to, because you could play 82 games. You could do it. Like, and if you have to miss 12, okay, sure, fine. But don't tell me that you're going to miss 20 when you're not hurt at all. And then you do get hurt. And then you say, we practiced too hard. Oh, no. Like, just look at all the greats. Look at all the all-time greats.
And come on, man. Nowadays you get the top of the line everything. Top trainers, top medical staff, all this crap, top recovery stuff. Like I'm not buying it for 1 second. And it really is just like, we got our guaranteed money. So it ain't like football. I don't gotta play this game to get paid. I got my money regardless. So I don't feel good. My ankle feels a little weird. If it was a playoff game, I'd play, but it's not. It's just regular season games, so I'm going to sit out. Or, you can't play back-to-backs. Like, literally the amount of players that have sat out because of back-to-backs are ridiculous. And at this point, it's just like, if that's what's going to happen on back-to-backs, don't schedule them. Make the season longer. Don't schedule any back-to-backs. You're like, all right, you guys don't have back-to-backs, but the season now starts in mid-September. That's a compromise because it's getting out of control, and it does, it makes it hard. Like whenever you think there's going to be a good matchup, the players aren't playing. Like I think tonight it's Boston against Milwaukee, and Giannis isn't playing. Like there's been so many games, and this is one thing that's crazy. Do you know the last time? I'm gonna get a Jeopardy question. When is the last time that LeBron James and Kevin Durant have played against each other?
Whoa. Oh, okay. 2021.
Try again.
Wait, earlier?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
2018.
Correct. The last time they played was on Christmas in 2018. LeBron's first year on the Warriors, or LeBron's
King
first year on the
me.
Lakers, Kevin Durant was still on the Warriors.
King me.
That was the last time they
way.
played. That is the last time they played against each other. The two best players in the league, the faces of the league, that's the last time they played against each other. Could you imagine, like, Patrick Mahomes has played against Joe Burrow 3 times in the last year. Like, it's out of control. And
that's insane. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, even to all this, think about it from the fan experience side. Like, what night am I supposed to go and see a team that I really want to see? I'm a Laker fan. Wow, what a great matchup on paper against, let's say, maybe an OKC. I want to see all the rookies. What? Half these rookies aren't playing. What? LeBron's not playing. No AD. What am I going for? You know, it sucks, man. It sucks. Especially when, I'm trying to maybe do a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. Oh, let's go see this great matchup. Half the team's not playing on both sides. Tight.
Yeah. And I feel like that's happening too often in the NBA. They need to get something sorted out on how to fix that. But let's talk about.
Wait, they do. You're not aware of their solution?
Oh, what is it now?
Well, their solution is you have to move up into the luxury entertainment department in life, and you have to go to like the VR experience, and then you go to the NBA VR experience, and you can watch these games on VR on the side court. It's like you're really there. Gotta go VR, baby.
Are you trying to get us a sponsor for the VR? No.
Oculus, baby, come through.
Hey, Zuckerberg, come on, man. But let's talk about these contenders. I feel like in the East, it's really a 2-team race. It's Boston and it's Milwaukee. Like, you could say the Sixers and the Cavs are dark horse teams, but I don't really think they have a shot. I think it's like clear cut. Boston and Milwaukee are just better coach, better better players, period. Like, better culture all around those teams in the East.
Yeah, they just want it more, and now they have like almost expectations at this point, especially their activity in the last like 5-ish seasons. So they have championship mentality. Everyone else in the East is just kind of there. They're gonna talk about the Knicks. They're gonna talk about like everyone else that has a name on the team, but like you're not gonna really last 7 games. Sorry, you're not.
Yeah.
We'll see about Philly, but at the same time, I don't like you said, Legendarius. It's clear cut, top of the East, Boston, Milwaukee. Like, unless something awful happened to one of those teams, that's how Philly gets a chance, if that, because they might choke it away. But
Philly makes me tired because every season again, it's the same thing with Philly. Oh my God, they have a chance. Oh Doc. Oh Embiid. Oh hard. Stop it, dude. When they first got Tobias Harris, that was supposed to put them over. When they first got James Harden, that was supposed to put them over. We're now in season what of this game show that is the Sixers? Like, come on. It's not gonna happen. They're not coming out the East. It's not happening.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's not happening.
He needs a new team, but he's already so married to the franchise. It's not gonna happen. He's not getting a ring with the Sixers. It's just not gonna happen.
Yep. Hey, and as we said a little bit, in the West, I feel like the Suns are the favorite, but I feel like the West is wide open. Obviously, Denver has the best record in the West. You got the Grizzlies, Warriors, Lakers, Mavs, Clips. Like,
the West
talk to me.
The West is consistently wide open for many, many, many seasons now. They're just a more competitive division or conference, whatever the verbiage is. And I don't know exactly who's really going to come out, because that is a situation where the seeding is so close. It is an injury away, and like everything completely flips and changes. The addition of the play-in tournament makes everything really more intense, especially with the last like maybe 20-ish games or so, like that jogging for the final position. And I think a play-in team can go far this season in the postseason, depending on the matchups. And it's going to be very interesting. And this is where the intensity picks up. And I'm excited to see how the West shakes down.
Honestly, and that's what's going to make the Lakers, in my opinion, very scary down the road. If they can win 16 games out of 23, oh my God.
Well, they off to a good start, and obviously, I'm going hard for my team. And I did hear that they have the 25th ranked strength of schedule, so they got one of the easiest paths there. And I feel like you guys have touched on it. The West is a cluster. They're, I think, like a game and a half out of the play-in, but they're like 2 games out of the 6th seed. So the West down the stretch to see who gets those top 6 spots. That's about to be a bloodbath. And I feel like the Warriors, they're the defending champs. Every time you want to count them out and say they don't got it, they they show up in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, the storylines in the West are definitely much deeper out of the All-Star break. Are the Warriors going to get their identity back? What's going on versus when it comes to stringing together some wins, are the Lakers, does them going young actually mean something? The Nuggets, are they actually going to maintain first and really hold that position and ride that fire all the way to a deep run in the postseason? Like the Suns, the impact of KD trade, does that really mean what we all think it means, or is it a farce? Like all these storylines mean so much this season for the West versus the East is very much more clear cut, very more cut and dry, not as exciting. Team's going to get blown out once the play-in starts, and it's just more everyone looking at the West as usual.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. But I will say with Denver, we need to hold this 2-time MVP accountable. So I'm not gonna say the pressure's on Kevin Durant to win anything. I'm like, no, 2-time MVP in a row. You need to go to the finals.
Stop that. The pressure's on Kevin Durant.
The pressure's absolutely on Kevin Durant. The way
he asked for a trade,
swung the market, the way he absolutely just disrupted the East. The pressure's on him for doing that. He's LeBron Jr. because he's trying to mimic LeBron. So, all right, now you too have championship expectations, bro. You have to step up now too. It is on him. Because everyone wants to make this big deal. Oh, his big toe was over the line. That's the narrative ever since they lost that matchup to the Bucks. So now you absolutely have to deliver. Because what are you going to do now? Your foot's going to be on the line again? No. So he absolutely has to deliver. There's pressure there. Chris Paul has a clock. Devin Booker has a clock. They all have clocks. They have the most pressure right now.
Together. They have 20 games together. Like, I'm not going to put that. Yeah. I'm not going to put that on Kevin Vay. Like, you got it. Like, I'm not going to say, like, you're under the most scrutiny.
But, he is.
But I got it. Like, I mean, I get it because of his all-time ranking. I get it. But I'm just saying, if the NBA media keeps handing this man Jokic MVPs like it's candy, he's got to earn his candy. Am I right?
Okay, let's get off the Jokic train real quick. KD absolutely held the Nets franchise hostage.
No,
had Josiah in there looking like an asshole.
No,
he had the franchise hostage. Okay,
he did not hold them.
He absolutely swings his way back to the West onto the Suns. That's an automatic championship expectation for any player who does that. He absolutely needs to win, or his reputation again looks bad. He will again be tarnished. His bald spot gets bigger.
All right, that was the buzzer. But before we go off this topic, held them hostage? How? I'm not buying that.
Are we okay? Okay, maybe the verbiage is a little elevated, but he was definitely in there making moves that if someone who was a Dorian Finney-Smith, you're not going to go into the Mavs and be like, yo, ABC. They're going to laugh him out the building. Kevin Durant absolutely threw his weight around as a superstar caliber player and did these things to the organization. So
no. Kevin Durant wanted Kyrie to play road games last year during the whole COVID issue. The Nets said no. And then the Nets went back on that and said, actually, we need you now, Kyrie. You can play road games. Imagine if they just did that from the jump. Like, Kyrie can play road games. He doesn't want to get the vax. James Harden might still be there. They might have got a chip. But they decided, like, no, we're gonna stay with, mainstream media. You need to get the vaccine or else. And he's like, well, I'm not getting it, so I guess I won't play any games. And then they went back on that. So that makes the Nets look bad. Number one.
Thank you.
KD didn't say that.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is not going to. He's not that guy to be stirring up the pot. He's not Aaron Rodgers. We're not going to color KD that way. Like, is there things that I disagree that he does? Sure, of course, burner accounts, but it's like, we can't do that to KD. So
no, I don't want to get misconstrued here. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying, player of his caliber making waves like he does, which he does. When you go and get a trade like that and you make a wave like that mid-season, then you absolutely have a championship expectation post-trade.
Yeah, I feel you on that, and I agree that KD has the most pressure on him, or the highest expectation on him. But I was just like, I'm not feeling bad for the Nets ownership. They made terrible moves, time after time after time.
Terrible example for sure, but no, definitely, like, you have that move with that weight. You need a title this season.
Yeah, well. We went a little over time there, but we got to talk about this NFL news really quick. So with our last 15 minutes, I'm gonna get that on the clock right now, and we gonna talk NFL.
All right, switching hats.
Switching hats.
All right, so.
All right, I just got my Dak jersey on. Let's go.
Oh shit, let's get it. So woo! I mean, there was a lot of news that went down this week. Yes. I feel like, honestly, I want to start here, and this might take up most of the time, and I'm all for it. LeSean McCoy low-key roasted Eric Bieniemy and took all credibility away from this man.
Yeah.
Basically said he didn't have any involvement in the offensive passing game. He wasn't like very, good at interacting with players. You basically just tore him down. It's like he doesn't really do much in Kansas City, is what he said. And it's like, I wish him well in Washington, but I don't think he's the guy. And on top of that, you look at, he said Doug Peterson had involvement. He didn't say what Matt Nagy did, or maybe he wasn't there during that time. But Doug Peterson and Matt Nagy, they both went from offensive coordinator, head coach, and now Bieniemy's making this lateral move, and you got LeSean McCoy, who was there, saying, "Yeah, like Bieniemy's not that guy." How'd you feel about that?
I felt that was, man. I'm mixed about it, because it's like you have people like Joe fucking Judge getting a head coach job, and he never called plays, and you'll have some people that are involved with the offense that never called plays get head coaching jobs. So I don't think calling plays should be a prerequisite of getting a head coaching job when you have different specialties. Can you relate to players, blah, blah. That, I feel, since LeSean McCoy didn't really play much in Kansas City, maybe harbors some ill will, ill feelings. But I don't know the whole story. That's why I have to say I have mixed feelings about it. And Eric Bieniemy, he was around LeSean McCoy the whole time, but everybody else, Jamal Charles, Maurice Jones-Drew, other offensive players and running backs will tell you that this man knows football. And yeah. And it sucks. And, I'm just disappointed that LeSean McCoy did that on a national stage like he did, because it's like, well, more people are going to listen to speak versus, actual NFL players, which is weird, but that's the facts right now. You're on national television, you're doing this. So I don't know how this is going to affect him. But it's just one of those things where I just wish he didn't say in the way he did. And maybe if that was something that he was harboring for a while because he didn't play that much in Kansas City, he just wanted to lay into his old OC. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I felt that one felt personal to me. And That was the only thing where I was just like, come on, bro, really gonna tear down your fellow black man on national TV like that? Like that's a little unnecessary.
Yeah.
For me, it was very simple. It was very simple hearing these comments. Who has a job right now in the NFL? All right. Who was with KC longer over the tenure? Got it. LeSean McCoy was in KC for how long? And got it. His
Yeah.
season stats were what? Okay. Very clear. Who has a history of speaking on social media or talking out their neck? Oh, okay, got it. This is very clear to me. LeSean McCoy has some shine to get. He has another 15 minutes to try and grab. So, what's the best way to do it? Let's talk about something. Let me just slander a black guy. It was really my analysis. Let's just slander a black guy. We don't have enough slander as a black man, as black people. Let's just slander each other. That's exactly how I saw it. Dude, you're out the league. I'm sorry. Dude, whatever hangups you have with Bieniemy, we don't know as a public society. Great. We don't know that. Okay.
Right.
I have plenty of people. I have 2 Super Bowls. I have everything that tells me Bieniemy is more than qualified to be Washington's OC and beyond. Versus one naysayer and you. This is a non-story for me. LeSean McCoy, enjoy your breakfast.
Okay. All
right, I feel that.
I like that. I like that.
And talking, let's keep it with these black men being torn down. I feel like this one's a little more credible. So you hear the report on Russell Wilson where he basically said he wanted Pete Carroll fired and he wanted the GM fired or he wanted to be traded. And they're like, all right, we'll trade you. And then he came out and basically was like, I never said that. I feel like Wilson, no credibility because there's no way reporters are going to they're not going to put their reputation on the line for a lie without getting like all the info.
Yeah. Russell Wilson said it. We know. And I'm not saying that like, I'm not no Uncle Ruggers. That is guilty. I got the throat right here. No. It's more of like it's more of like, we heard about the antics Russ has, had in Denver, Seattle near the end when he was getting bigger than life. And that's, shit happens. That's okay. But it comes to a point where it's like, Russ, just own it or just don't say anything at all. Basically, I just wouldn't have said anything because it's like, yeah, one of the motherfuckers gone.
Yeah,
I got gone.
It was so easy to not say anything. He could have just been like, "I'm not talking about the past. I'm here right now. Like, I don't even like this story is a non-story at this point. I'm on the Broncos, so let's leave the past in the past."
Right. You like get over it.
Unfortunately, a missed opportunity by Russell Westbrook. I'm sorry, not Westbrook, Wilson, to have some fun. I mean, I get it. He wants to be the ultimate good guy, but we know you're corny. Your players, your teammates have come out against you. We saw you on draft day. Okay. You weren't there with Sierra from the beginning. Okay. We understand. We don't hold it against you. Black men exist on a spectrum. I just wish he would have just owned it and been like, yeah, I was mad. We were losing. I absolutely tried to throw them under the bus. Yes, I still love them, but I was very angry in these last years. I was very upset about my performance. And yes, I did it. I'm guilty. I just wish you would have owned it. Because when I heard the news too, I was like everyone else. Well, maybe not like everyone else, but I sat there with a smile on my face and I looked at my daughter and I said, he absolutely did that. And we all know that he did that. So I just wish he would have owned it. Like a part of me wishes he just would have been there. Yes, you have the story. Yes, you're a credible reporter. Yes, I know how my tenure ended in Seattle. I'm the villain. It's me.
Exactly.
So I'm that's really curious. I like that because I sure as hell would have admitted it. I just would have said it. So you really want him to? I don't think I've ever heard any like NFL player be like, "Yeah, I wanted them gone." Like at least in public, not until like it's like a podcast or something. But
no, yes, if they're gonna say something like that, it's gonna be seasons later on a podcast, and no one even remembers the staff anymore. And then be like, "Yeah, in '72, I wanted that asshole gone." No, just own it now, man. Just own it now. Everyone either loves or used to love wrestling, man. We know what a hero and a villain is. That's why Marvel keeps taking all these monies from these parents and their 50 kids, okay? We love heroes. We love villains. We love sports stories. We love it. Just give it to us, okay? We love when the hero story plays out, but the villains, they never really own it. Not really. They
Not
have
really.
some players that will be like, I'm the bad guy, I'm going to ruin you, but they don't really own it. And Russell Wilson, he could have owned it. He could have been the Lex Luthor of the NFL. And instead, he's just another tweener, good guy with bad guy mentalities.
Exactly. Okay. You know who kind of owns it and who's kind of the villain right now? Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
He talks about it. Like, he talks around it, but he's like, yeah, bro, like, I will be the villain. Like, and you know what I'm saying. It's like,
yes, he is
I need more weapons.
Evil. Yes, he is the brainiac of the NFL. Very smart, very cool, very calculated. He's salty. We're not going to know until probably again years later. He'll probably write a book, but he probably has some Brett Favre hate and salt towards Green Bay still. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. So look how he's playing out right now. This is the absolute perfect opportunity. He finally has the franchise where he needs them to be. They need him more than he needs them. So what's going to happen, man? He's a pure villain. I love it. I'm owning it. Do I care about him as where he's going to end up in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely not. But him holding Green Bay hostage, yeah, I love it. It's cool.
Okay, so
how do you feel about this report that the Packers are done with Aaron Rodgers?
It's about damn time.
Hey, we all got to play games, man. We all got.
You know what I'm gonna say? Not the cap. Not the cap. Not the cap. They ain't done with Aaron Rodgers, fool. Exactly. I do not believe it for 1 second. Stop the cap.
Exactly. There's absolutely no way you're gonna do it. All they're trying to do is create the same pushback that Rodgers did.
All right. So wait, hold on. Did y'all hear about the team rocket of the NFL, the Raiders? Basically failures.
Yeah.
What they said about the Aaron Rodgers thing. Is this a smokescreen or not? That they are out of the running and they're done pursuing Aaron Rodgers.
Negotiation tactic. They ain't done. Nobody's done.
Yeah, no one's done. No one's done until the contract signed.
There's maybe like 4 teams in the NFL that would not take a call on Aaron Rodgers. If the Packers are shopping Aaron Rodgers,
yeah,
everyone will pick up the phone minus 4 teams.
Yeah.
Nobody's done. So anybody saying they're done is full shit. Unless they have Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Joe Burrow under center.
Yeah. And that's the cold honest truth. Yeah, I had some pushback for Rodgers last pod, but I mean that's just the state of the game, man. Until a decision's made, everyone has a chance. We don't know what's going on behind these secret phone calls and wheels and deals and caves and meditations and ayahuascas. We're not there. So until stuff comes out, until a contract signed, it's all speculation and it's all just gonna get talked about.
So we're talking about your hostage situation for Katie and the Nets. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, he is holding Green Bay hostage. This is the perfect example.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah. No, I feel that. And let's pivot a little bit to 2 teams I connected last weekend. So with the Niners, we got Brock Purdy, who's delaying a surgery due to inflammation.
Not good.
And then there was a report on Derek Carr saying, his free agency will be a long process. He wants to make sure he's at the right team. And still, the Niners have not, that name has not popped up. But I feel like there has to be something going on behind the scenes. You think I'm on to something, or do you think the Niners are truly just like, nah, we're good with Brock Purdy?
You're currently the only one that I'm still hearing that about, and I'm still not against it. I still ride. I still think that works, but I just haven't heard it anywhere else.
So yeah, unfortunately, and it's like at this point, I think what they're going to do because I'd already heard that they don't view Brock Purdy as their long-term guy. They already said that. It's like, okay, you can spot start, but you're not the guy. They got to see what they got in Trey Lance, which I still think is a bad idea at this point. If you're serious about winning the Super Bowl, if that's your goal, I would be like, yo, let's bring in Derek Carr. Let's talk to him. It's like he's healthy. We have we have the best defense in the league, and we have weapons that run after catch, all that stuff. He doesn't have to worry about throwing deep all the time. He could, throw like a cool little slant to Debo. He's going to take it 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, he's accurate. He has the most fourth quarter comebacks. Like, it seems
like it makes too much sense for it to not work.
Exactly.
So but unfortunately, I just haven't heard anything, other than our platform. So I couldn't.
So if you're the Niners, why don't you do this? I mean, forget the car move. We don't know about that. Just in terms of Lance and Purdy. We don't know what the Niners told this kid when he first got injured, laying up in the hospital, right? We don't know some verbiage of you got a job when you're healed up. We don't know what was said there.
Or is it business? It don't matter. It's a business.
I'll resume with my question. Is it possible, car notwithstanding, that the Niners are just like, I mean, at the end of the day, you're waiting on Purdy, right? He's on the shelf for X amount of time. But you do right by Lance, and here's your chance. Whatever, you're still good, right? Here you go. Go ahead. And you got Lance, and then when Purdy comes back, you just swap him.
No, I think at this point, Kyle Shanahan is like, I'm done with this. Give me a quarterback. I took Jimmy G to the Super Bowl. I took Jimmy G to the NFC Championship game, and I took Brock Purdy to the NFC Championship game. Give me a quarterback.
Yeah.
Trey Lance is not it. Get me a quarterback. Give me a veteran that can distribute the ball and stay healthy.
Yep.
Knowing that argument has probably existed for at least one. Why hasn't that happened yet?
Because
I think that. That was a buzzer. But I think that was the. That's always, GM versus coach. The GM doesn't want to be wrong. The GM doesn't want to be like, yo, I picked the wrong guy in Trey Lance and he wasn't the guy. The GM doesn't want to eat that. So the GM's like, no, I think Trey Lance is still a guy. You haven't even seen him play. He got hurt. Give him
and that's
more time. He can figure it out. Or it's just like, you see him practice.
Yeah, that's where I am. Philosophically, he's not a wrong pick. He played such a small window. You got a bad weather game. You have a freak injury. Come on. How can you say that's a bust? How can you say that's a success? This is the most gray area pick.
I'm not saying he's a bust or a success.
Availability is the best ability, period.
Yeah.
In sports. If I can't depend on you, what good are you? If I bet the farm, for 12 months and you're only there for 2, if that, what good are you? That's why when I'm saying bust or not the guy, it's not because he's quote unquote trash, because I hope he's not, but it's just right. Do you want to stake your reputation on a player with a small sample size with an injury history? No, you don't. So if I'm Kyle Shanahan at this point, I'm looking around the division. Okay, here we go. Pete Carroll already, he's been to 2 Super Bowls. Arizona, LOL. Los Angeles, they won a Super Bowl by, what did they do? Being aggressive, going all in on Matthew Stafford. Did it work? Yeah. Yep. They got their ring. Like, it doesn't matter the next year. What Kyle Shanahan needs to do is to put the stamp on and be like, yo, I'm the young hot head coach, blah, blah. I'm like one of the best coaches in the league right now. Here's my Super Bowl. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to get a quarterback, like what Legendarius said, that can distribute the ball, that can stay healthy give me goddamn 15 games. Just give me 15 games. That's it.
And furthermore, you look at this Niners roster, like, they don't have, like, Trey Lance, he's going into year 3. Trey Lance has his whole career ahead of him. Maybe he ends up being great, but they don't have their whole career ahead of them with this roster they have. They got maybe 2 seasons. They got this season, and then maybe the season following that with all these young guys. They're gonna get paid like soon. So you don't have time to be like, well, you want to keep developing Trey Lance. Like, nah, move them. Let's get a quarterback in here and let's win the Super Bowl. Let's win possibly back-to-back Super Bowls.
Oh, hello. Is this John Harbaugh? Yep, it's Kyle Shanahan. How's Lamar?
Fuck off. Not interested. If Lamar Jackson goes to the Niners, I will actually burn. If Lamar Jackson goes to the Niners, I will legitimately burn my Lamar Jackson jersey and post it. It ain't happening. You heard it here first. It ain't happening. And
I know,
we can touch on this just real quick before we wrap here. Lamar and the Ravens are still pretty far away, and it's very clear. It's what we already discussed. Lamar wants fully guaranteed. He's like, give me a fully guaranteed contract like Deshaun Watson's plus $1, and we're good. It's really that simple. Yeah. So the Ravens are just being stubborn at this point.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, you guys are about to lose the best quarterback in your history over some like dollars, all because you want to be cheap and win a Super Bowl with B-level quarterbacks and shit. No, pay the man. Get like, because I didn't even ride this hard for Dak. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, because I was like,
well, Dak's not an MVP, so.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like
he's worth the money. He's worth the money. It's not even a discussion. It's really not. Like, the fact that they're dragging their feet on this makes them look bad. And if they franchise tag him, oh my god. Like, it's over. If they franchise tag him, it is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is super interesting and so informing for like future quarterback, contracts that are coming up in this season or future seasons, because the argument is Deshaun Watson comes off the street, gets that money. Okay, as a high performing quarterback in the NFL that doesn't have Deshaun Watson problems and who is valuable, more valuable than Deshaun Watson, that number needs to go up. And now all these franchises are going to be kind of hooked. And that's what everyone was saying when the Watson contract was finalized. The shakeup is going to happen. This is just the first wave of a shakeup. Lamar is the first test. Now this is going to be informed for future quarterbacks down the road. It's going to
be Herbert. They coming next.
Yep.
But hey, I feel like this is a good place to wrap. And for next week's episode, we gotta really get into this NFL season. We'll do an NFL season review. We'll talk, highlights of the season, talk a little fantasy, some of the best teams sports betting wise on the season, and let's give out. We gonna make up some awards, and we gonna hand out some awards. So the NFL, they gave out their awards. They had their award show. We about to hand out some awards on this next episode, and as always,
I've never done that before.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. So looking forward to that. But that puts a wrap on episode 2 of Sports Minds. Like we said last week, continue to follow us, continue to support. We on all streaming platforms. Subscribe, promote us, and if you want to donate some, you want us to advertise some, let me know. I'm a walking billboard. I'm a sellout. I feel like Hashmaster Z is a sellout for the right price. My man Philthy will sell out for the right price. I want to speak for
I went to college. I know how to write paragraphs.
Yeah, hey, we open. Hey. We open for business.
We open for business. Hey, Burger King, hit us up.
Hey, chicken. My man Hashmaster Z is a vegan, and he'll be eating chicken sandwiches like it's nothing. Like, lettuce.
Impossible Whopper. So I'll drive themselves in the Impossible Whopper.
Vegan police on the way.
All right, y'all. We out of here. Enjoy the week.
Yes, sir.
Yee.
All right. How do